Life returning to normal for many people since Harvey, but not everyone. There are some families that won't be in a home this Thanksgiving.
This, of course, includes children. Investigative reporter Scott Knoll now with how thousands of kids are still homeless after Harvey.
In a tiny trailer parked outside a car wash.
It's really crowded.
16-year-old Laura Cortez can't ignore the irony.
We were already planning on moving into a bigger house.
And instead you end up
in a smaller, yes.
The 5 of them left homeless when Harvey's floodwaters washed into their Pasadena home.
It's the only thing that we were able to say during the flood.
The new normal.
What makes me smile is having me a home.
That echoes through the halls of Pasadena schools.
It's not fun because I'm living in a hotel and I don't have nowhere to go. I lost all my clothes and I only have like shorts and a shirt.
Stories Emily Cruz calls heartbreaking.
I worry about them losing hope.
She's a guidance counselor at Pasadena ISD, where Harvey left 2,063 students homeless.
I think that's the main thing. I worry about them losing hope that will we be able to rebuild? Can we get back on our feet? Will things ever be the same?
Questions schools all across the Houston area are struggling to answer. A KHOU 11 Investigates survey of school districts found more than 22,000 students still considered homeless due to the hurricane. That includes more than 2,700 in Katy, more than 2,500 in Houston, to Dickinson, where 1 out of every 10 students is now homeless because of Harvey. Giant numbers that worry child advocate Dr. Bob Sanborn.
This is something that could indeed affect this whole generation. This Harvey generation of kids are going to be kids that struggle just a little bit more.
He says that's because losing a home, even temporarily, can be traumatic to kids, disrupt their normal routines, and cause stress. Feelings 5th grader Renaya Coleman deals with daily. Her family of 5 had to move into a motel after their apartment flooded.
I have an attitude with teachers.
Why is that?
They tell me to do this, but I'm focused on something else, not what they're talking about.
What is that something else you're focused on?
The storm.
It's a side of Renaya her mother barely recognizes.
You've seen real changes in your kids as a result of this.
Especially my girls, yes, sir.
But this mom refuses to let her kids use Harvey as an excuse.
And as a mother, I want to see my kids get somewhere in life, not let this storm hold us back. We have to be able to function, move forward.
It's why Sanborn says now is the time to act. Worried if the so-called Harvey kids fall behind, they may never fully catch up.
It is absolutely a defining moment for the children. We need to understand that for these kids, if we don't do something to reach out to return their life to normal and to deal with the trauma that they've suffered, that we're not going to have the same kids that we thought we were going to have a couple months ago.
At Pasadena, that means extra outreach to affected families, everything from supply drives to additional tutoring.
And we want them to stay on track. So to write them off or to say like, hey, you know what, this year doesn't count, we'd be doing them a disservice.
Determined to keep her kids on track, the Cortez family just moved into a new home. With Laura's grades already slipping, her mom knew it was time to get her son and daughters out of the trailer.
You think this is going to be a better life for your family?
Creo que sí. She thinks, yeah.
But the extra space and refrigerator to show off good grades comes at a price.
But I don't want to change schools. I want to stay in my old school.
The family's new home is an hour away from their old one in Pasadena, meaning more uncertainty for these Harvey kids.
It's tough, isn't it?
No longer homeless, but still very unsettled. Sanborn predicts it could take years for some of these kids left homeless because of Hurricane Harvey to fully recover from what they've been through. So if you're a parent, what signs should you look for in your child? Sanborn says it can really be any kind of change, things like a drop in grades or kids acting out or being disruptive, or maybe they're just not as engaged either in school or with their friends as they were before the storm. If you notice any of these, Sanborn says you should reach out to your kid's school and ask for help. He also hopes because so many kids have been impacted, state leaders will find a way to get more money to school districts to make sure teachers and counselors are trained to deal with students whose lives have been turned upside down by Hurricane Harvey. Standing for Houston, I'm Scott Knoll, KHOU 11 Investigates.
You know, as adults, we can deal with so much, we can handle so much, but it's so different for our children.
Hard for them to grasp what is happening. I'm glad to see that we are looking into this and that school districts are aware of it and trying to help these kids. We wish them the best.
We sure do.